All right, happening right now. Take a look at this. A live look of police on the scene of a deadly shooting in Albuquerque as the sunlight starts to come up. This is on Cagua. It's near Copper and San Pedro in northeast Albuquerque, just north of Central. You want to avoid this area. Obviously, some streets are blocked off. Police tell us a deadly shooting happened about 3:30 this morning. They got a call. They rushed out there, found one person. They're not saying man or woman, but one person dead on the ground. A full violent crimes investigation is taking place as we speak. Again, avoid this area. Copper and San Pedro in northeast Albuquerque, a deadly shooting. We're going to try to get more details and have them for you as we go through the morning. Liz?
It's been more than a month since the Department of Justice came down on the Albuquerque Police Department. Now police in another big city are suing the DOJ for doing the same thing it did in Albuquerque. Matt has been following the developments and has more on this from the Newsplex. Matt?
Good morning once again, Liz. Yeah, we know APD is about to make some serious changes thanks to this DOJ report, all 46 pages of it. Now, don't forget, Seattle had one of these reports just a few years ago, and the police department there made some serious changes as well. Now, some officers think that city and the feds went too far with those changes. So now, more than 120 police officers in Seattle are suing that city and the Department of Justice, saying the new policies on the use of force are overly complicated and contradictory. They say that puts police in a position where they're too hesitant to use what they call reasonable force. Lawsuit also says the new policies unfairly second-guess these split-second decisions that officers have to make, sometimes in very dangerous situations. And the suit says the changes have made the city less safe because criminals know they can get away with disobeying police orders. Right now, we don't know what all changes the federal government will make here in Albuquerque. But the police union here said back in April that some of these changes could be very frustrating. Listen.
That's the difficult part is, okay, so we're wrong on both. We're wrong when we use less lethal and we're wrong when we're using lethal.
Also in Seattle, police complained they didn't have a say in their new policies. They also have a big problem with the increased oversight and being questioned, they say, over every little thing. Now, back here in Albuquerque, Mayor R.J. Berry tells us the city will listen to officers' feedback. We also asked the union about the lawsuit in Seattle yesterday, and it did not get back with us. Elizabeth?
Okay, Matt, thank you. We, of course, have been following the DOJ's report on APD since it was released. We will continue to do so right here on KRQE News 13 and KRQE.com. You can see the full press conference from the DOJ and read the full report on KRQE.com. The Water Authority is warning you about some phony calls being made to customers. The callers claim to be representatives from the Water Authority, and they say that your water bill is overdue and needs to be paid. Well, the Water Authority says it never calls for payments and doesn't use outside contractors to collect payments as well. Customers with questions about their bills are being asked to call the Water Authority directly. Updating you now on the Paseo I25 interchange project. Would you believe that construction crews are past the halfway point? 8 months into the project now, and crews have started working on the biggest part of it all, the flyover from I-25 north to westbound Paseo. Drilling has started for the foundation. The road closures have created slower driving conditions for drivers along that portion of I-25. The DOT says it has put more workers, though, on the job.
I think the whole project area needs to be of a concern to anybody going through it. The biggest thing people can do is try and keep up with some of the changes if they can.
DOT says the project is about 40% complete and is on par with finishing construction by the end of the year. For the very latest updates on the road closures in and around that area, go to KRQE.com and click on KRQE links.
Well, someone is looking to make a big business move to downtown Albuquerque, but exactly who this someone is a big mystery this morning. All we know is that it's a, quote, local guy who started his business downtown before it expanded. The Downtown Action Team says it has been tapped to find a space for sale or for lease. We're talking a pretty big space, one that can hold 200 people. That means it's about 10,000 square feet with room to grow. The team's also looking for high ceilings and access to parking and high-speed internet. Now, one thing we know is the company employs young, high-energy people.
Millennials are really focused. They're not going to just go anywhere because he can get cheaper rent. They have specific things they want: walking, biking, the transit, and all of the unique things they can do in the area.
The Downtown Action Team says an announcement on where this company will move should come later this summer. It is not said when it will announce or if it even knows what this company is. All right, and speaking of downtown, something seems to be lacking right in the heart of the Duke City: public bathrooms. And because of that, a lot of people are doing their business outside or inside other businesses. So now shops and restaurant owners say they're constantly having to clean up messes. You know what kind of messes I'm talking about. Messes off the walls. The Downtown Action Team, business owners, and some churches in the area want the city to add 2 new permanent public bathrooms to help keep downtown clean. The city says it agrees, and they all hope to have a plan in place by the end of this year.
A plan to transform the West Side into a massive community will need water, and lots of it. The question is, with the ongoing drought, where will the water come from? The proposed development in southwest Bernalillo County is called Santolina. It's supposed to be the home to close to 100,000 people over the next 50 years. The Planning Commission held a hearing yesterday to address the water issue. The site is outside of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority's service area.
We have been in discussions with them, and that they are planning for growth within the community. We feel that we are a part of that growth that they are planning for.
The developer is seeking approval from the county for the master plan. Speaking of water, New Mexico is one of several states running out of water. The U.S. Drought Monitor ranks the state 3rd on a list of states where more than half of the land is in a severe drought. Severe drought is categorized by crop loss, frequent water shortages, and mandatory water restrictions. New Mexico's low reservoir levels are due to high temperatures and little snowfall during the winter. The good news is that we are not as dry as we were last year.